Imagine a young woman standing in front of a mirror before leaving her home. Not a mirror of glass only, a mirror of choices. On one side, the world is whispering to her, be softer, but only if it makes you pleasing to people. Be beautiful, but only if everyone can see it. Be kind, but let others use you. Be modest, but not too much. Be confident, but not too different. Be religious, but not enough to make people uncomfortable. And on the other side, there is something deeper inside her heart, a quiet voice, a sacred voice, a voice that does not shout, but somehow feels stronger than every noise around her. It says, you do not have to lose yourself to be loved. You do not have to expose yourself to be seen. You do not have to become hard to be respected. You can be gentle without being weak. You can be beautiful without being available. You can be soft without surrendering your soul. My dear sister, this world will try to confuse you about softness. It will tell you that if you are soft, people are allowed to cross your limits. It will tell you that if you are kind, you must keep forgiving the same disrespect. It will tell you that if you are loving, you must accept emotional crumbs. It will tell you that if you are feminine, you must be easy to impress, easy to control, easy to break, easy to replace. But Islam never taught you that. Islam honored softness, but it never asked you to abandon dignity. Islam honored beauty, but it never asked you to sell it for attention. Islam honored love, but it never asked you to beg for someone who does not fear Allah in the way they treat you. Islam honored mercy, but it never asked you to stay silent when your soul is being crushed. There is a kind of woman who carries peace in her voice, but fire in her principles. She can speak gently, yet her boundaries are not for sale. She can smile warmly, yet not everyone is allowed into her heart. She can forgive, yet she does not keep handing the same person the weapon they used to wound her. She can dress with elegance, yet her modesty is not negotiable. She can love deeply, yet she does not worship love. She belongs to Allah before she belongs to anyone else. That is the woman the world does not understand. Because the world has seen loud confidence, but it has forgotten quiet strength. It has seen attention-seeking beauty, but it has forgotten protected beauty. It has seen women becoming hard because they were hurt, and women becoming careless because they wanted to feel free. But it rarely understands the woman who says, I will remain soft, but I will not become cheap. I will remain kind, but I will not be used. I will remain graceful, but I will not compromise what Allah has honored in me. My dear sister, never think modesty is a cage. Modesty is not Allah hiding you from the world because you are unworthy. Modesty is Allah protecting what is precious because you are valuable. A pearl is hidden inside the shell. Gold is guarded. The most beautiful gardens are enclosed. The most sacred places are not entered casually. Does that make them less valuable? No. Their value is shown by the way they are protected. So when you cover with dignity, when you lower your ego, when you speak with grace, when you protect your heart, when you choose not to display every part of yourself for strangers, you are not disappearing. You are becoming more truly seen by the one whose sight matters most. There is a dangerous lie spreading quietly through the hearts of many young women. The lie says, if you are modest, you will be ignored. If you are religious, you will miss out. If you have boundaries, no one will choose you. If you are soft and shy away from wrong, you will be left behind. But my dear sister, who told you that being chosen by people is greater than being protected by Allah? Who told you that attention is the same as love? Who told you that being desired is the same as being valued? Who told you that the gaze of strangers is proof of your beauty? Sometimes the world does not admire modest women immediately because modesty exposes the emptiness of the world's standards. A woman who does not chase attention makes attention look cheap. A woman who does not need to be validated by every eye becomes dangerous to a culture built on insecurity. A woman who says, my worth is not for public voting, becomes powerful in a way the world cannot control. And this is why you must be careful. Not every compliment is respect. Not every message is interest. Not every man who notices you intends to honor you. Not every friendship is safe for your soul. Not every trend is harmless. Not every invitation is innocent. Not every opportunity is from Allah just because it looks exciting. There are doors that open only to pull you away from yourself. There are people who come close not because they see your soul, but because they sense your softness and want access without responsibility. There are conversations that begin politely and end by making your heart attached to someone who never planned to protect it. There are jokes that slowly remove shame. There are outfits that begin as style and become surrender. There are friendships that begin as fun and become distance from Allah. There are small compromises that do not look dangerous until one day you look in the mirror and wonder, when did I become someone I never wanted to be? My dear sister, the fall does not always begin with a major sin. Sometimes it begins with a small silence when your heart knew something was wrong. It begins when you say, it is not a big deal. It begins when you allow a conversation that your conscience warned you about. It begins when you change your standards for someone you fear losing. It begins when you accept disrespect because the person also gives you attention. It begins when you hide things from the people who genuinely care for your faith, because deep down you already know the path is not clean. This is why modesty is not only clothing. Modesty is also how you allow yourself to be approached. Modesty is how you speak when no one from your family is watching. Modesty is how you behave online. Modesty is the pictures you post, the messages you answer, the jokes you tolerate, the music you feed your heart with, the pages you follow, the fantasies you keep alive, the emotional doors you leave unlocked. A woman can be covered outwardly and still be exposed emotionally if she gives strangers access to her heart without honor. And a woman may be trying her best outwardly, still learning, still growing, but her heart is sincere, ashamed before Allah and walking toward Him step by step. So do not reduce modesty to fabric alone. Fabric matters, but the soul beneath it matters too. Real modesty is a full atmosphere around a believer. It is dignity in the eyes, dignity in the words, dignity in the walk, dignity in the relationships, dignity in the private life, dignity in the online life, dignity in the heart. And softness lives beautifully inside that modesty. Be soft in the way you speak to your parents, even when you are tired. Be soft with your younger siblings, because they may remember your kindness longer than your advice. Be soft with children, because tenderness teaches them safety. Be soft with the elderly, because one day you will want someone to be patient with your weakness. Be soft with other women, because the world already compares them enough. Be soft with your husband if Allah has placed you in marriage, but do not confuse softness with accepting cruelty. Be soft with yourself, because shame that leads you back to Allah is mercy, but shame that makes you hate yourself is a trap. My dear sister, softness is not the opposite of strength. Softness is strength under control. Water is soft, but it can carve stone. A mother's hand is soft, but it can carry pain that would break mountains. A sincere tear is soft, but it can change a heart. A quiet prayer is soft, but it can open doors that power and money cannot open. You do not need to become harsh to survive. Yes, you may have been hurt. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe someone used your innocence. Maybe people laughed at your sincerity. Maybe someone made you feel foolish for trusting. Maybe you gave love, loyalty, patience and forgiveness, and in return you received confusion, coldness or pain. And now a part of you says, I will never be soft again. But listen carefully, do not let those who wounded you steal the best part of you. Do not become rude because someone abused your kindness. Do not become immodest because someone made modesty feel lonely. Do not become emotionally careless because someone played with your heart. Do not become bitter because someone did not know your value. Your softness was not the mistake. Giving it to the wrong people without boundaries may have been the lesson. Your kindness was not the weakness. Trusting someone who did not fear Allah may have been the warning. Your love was not the problem. Forgetting that Allah must come before love may have been the test. So return wiser, not colder. Return softer, but guarded. Return loving, but not desperate. Return forgiving, but not blind. Return modest, not because life has been easy, but because your soul still recognizes its Lord. There is a special strength in the woman who can cry in private, wipe her tears, pray, and still refuse to lower her standards. There is a special beauty in the woman who has options, but chooses obedience. There is a special light in the woman who could gain attention easily, but chooses dignity quietly. There is a special honor in the woman who says, I am not trying to be admired by everyone. I am trying to be pleased with by Allah. My dear sister, your modesty will be tested most when you feel lonely. When everyone around you seems to be receiving attention, proposals, admiration, followers, gifts, compliments, and relationships, your heart may whisper, maybe I am too strict. Maybe I should loosen a little. Maybe this is why no one notices me. But do not judge your value by the speed at which people approach you. Some flowers are not found on every roadside. Some treasures require the right person, the right time, the right permission from Allah. What comes quickly is not always blessed. What is delayed is not always denied. Sometimes Allah protects you from being chosen by people who would have damaged your faith, your peace, your confidence, and your future. A man who is frightened by your modesty was never prepared for your soul. A man who mocks your boundaries was never worthy of your trust. A man who pressures you to compromise before marriage is showing you how he may treat your dignity after marriage. A man who says, if you loved me, you would do this, is not speaking the language of love. He is speaking the language of manipulation. Love does not ask you to disobey Allah to prove loyalty. Love does not make you hide in shame. Love does not make you feel cheap after the conversation ends. Love does not pull you away from prayer, family, modesty, self-respect, and peace. Real love protects. Real love honors. Real love waits with dignity. Real love fears Allah when desire becomes strong. Real love does not play with someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's future mother, someone's heart. And my dear sister, do not think this message is only about men. Sometimes the strongest pressure comes from other women. Friends may mock you. Cousins may call you old-fashioned. Social media may make you feel plain. People may say, why are you so serious? Why are you so covered? Why don't you just enjoy your life? Why do you act different? Do not answer every comment. Some people are not asking because they want to understand. They are asking because your discipline makes them uncomfortable. Your modesty silently reminds them of something they are trying to ignore. Your boundaries expose what they have normalized. Your peace disturbs their chaos. You do not need to be arrogant. You do not need to judge them. You do not need to act superior. A modest woman must also guard her heart from pride. Never look down on another woman because she struggles differently from you. Today you may be strong in one area, and tomorrow Allah may test you in another. So be grateful, not boastful. Be firm, not cruel. Be confident, not condescending. The goal is not to appear better than other women. The goal is to be sincere before Allah. And sincerity is quiet. It does not need applause. It does not need to humiliate others. It does not need to announce itself. A sincere woman may be fighting battles no one sees. She may be trying to dress better, step by step. She may be deleting things from her phone slowly. She may be leaving a relationship that had captured her emotions. She may be trying to pray again after years of distance. She may be learning how to speak modestly, choose better friends, rebuild her shame, and return to Allah. So if you are that woman, do not give up because you are not perfect yet. Allah does not ask you to become perfect overnight. He asks you to return honestly. He asks you to keep moving. He asks you not to justify what is wrong while your heart knows it is wrong. He asks you not to turn weakness into identity. He asks you not to say, this is just who I am, when He has given you the ability to become someone better. You can change, you can heal, you can become modest again, you can become softer again, you can become disciplined again, you can become a woman of prayer again, you can become private again, you can remove the pictures, you can end the conversations, you can block the person, you can leave the group, you can change the wardrobe, you can rebuild the heart, you can start again tonight. Do not let shaitan convince you that because you made mistakes, modesty no longer belongs to you. That is one of his cruelest tricks. He wants a woman to sin, then he wants her to feel too dirty to return. He wants her to fall, then he wants her to live in the fall. He wants her to think, good women are different from me, modest women are different from me. Allah's mercy is for people who did not do what I did. No, my dear sister, The door of return is open while you are alive. The heart can be washed. The soul can be raised. The path can be corrected. The past can become a lesson instead of a prison. You are not the worst thing you did. You are not the lowest moment you survived. You are not the screenshots, the secret, the relationship, the outfit, the mistake, the season of weakness. You are a servant of Allah, and the one who created you can restore you in ways people cannot imagine. But restoration requires honesty. Do not ask Allah to protect your heart while you keep handing it to what harms it. Do not ask for peace while feeding the very thing that steals your peace. Do not ask for a righteous spouse while entertaining people who do not respect righteousness. Do not ask for light while refusing to close the windows through which darkness enters. Softness needs protection. A soft heart cannot survive in every environment. You cannot place a delicate flower in a storm every day and wonder why it bends. You cannot keep walking into conversations filled with desire and expect your modesty to remain untouched. You cannot scroll through images, comparisons, beauty standards, relationship fantasies, and immodest lifestyles every night and expect your heart to wake up content. You cannot surround yourself with people who mock obedience and expect your faith to feel strong. Environment matters. What you watch matters. Who you speak to matters. What you wear matters. What you post matters. What you hide matters. What you justify matters. The private life matters. The woman you are when no one sees you is the woman your soul lives with. The public version may impress people, but the private version shapes your destiny. So ask yourself with honesty, not shame, who has access to me? What am I normalizing? What am I calling harmless that is slowly changing me? What would I stop immediately if I remembered that Allah sees me clearly? What part of my softness have I been giving to people who never deserved it? What part of my modesty have I been negotiating because I fear being alone? Sometimes one honest question can save a woman years of regret. And my dear sister, there is another side of modesty many people forget. Modesty is not only about protecting yourself from men, it is also about protecting yourself from arrogance, jealousy, attention addiction, and constant comparison. A woman can be outwardly modest, but internally consumed by wanting to be envied. She may not expose her body, but she exposes every blessing to provoke comparison. She may not speak to strange men, but she humiliates other women with her tongue. She may dress carefully, but her heart is dressed in pride. This is why we must ask Allah to beautify both the outer and the inner. Be modest with your beauty. Be modest with your achievements. Be modest with your marriage. Be modest with your wealth. Be modest with your religious progress. Be modest with your knowledge. Be modest even when Allah gives you what others are praying for. Do not use blessings as weapons. Do not make other women feel small because Allah gave you something earlier. Do not turn your modesty into a crown of superiority. True modesty makes you humble because you know every good thing in you is a gift from Allah. Without His mercy, you could be lost. Without His protection, you could fall. Without His guidance, you would not even know how to return. That humility is part of your beauty. A soft woman does not need to dominate every room. Her presence brings calm. Her words carry weight because she does not waste them. Her laughter is clean. Her confidence is not loud. Her heart is not available to every passerby. Her standards are not cruel, but they are clear. She does not advertise her wounds for sympathy, and she does not display her beauty for validation. She walks through the world knowing that being seen by Allah is enough, even when people misunderstand her. And yes, people will misunderstand you. Some will call you boring because you refuse what damages the soul. Some will call you judgmental because you have standards. Some will call you extreme because you take your faith seriously. Some will call you difficult because you will not be emotionally available without commitment. Some will call you insecure because you protect your modesty. Some will call you old-fashioned because you still believe shame can be beautiful. Let them talk. People who are addicted to noise often fear silence. People who are addicted to attention often fear privacy. People who are addicted to desire often fear discipline. People who are addicted to approval often fear a woman who belongs to Allah before she belongs to society. Your job is not to convince everyone. Your job is to remain sincere. A modest woman must learn the art of being misunderstood without collapsing. Not every accusation needs defense. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every opinion deserves a meeting inside your heart. Sometimes dignity is walking away while people misread you. Sometimes strength is letting Allah know the truth even when people believe a lie. But be careful not to use modesty as an excuse to become lifeless. Some women think being modest means they must erase their personality, bury their joy, hide their intelligence, fear every smile, and live as though happiness is suspicious. No, my dear sister, Islam did not come to suffocate your soul. It came to purify it. You can be joyful and modest. You can be elegant and modest. You can be educated and modest. You can be ambitious and modest. You can be funny in a clean way and modest. You can take care of your appearance and modest. You can build a career with boundaries and modest. You can speak with confidence and modest. You can be a leader and modest. You can be soft, graceful, intelligent, creative, and strong, while still obeying Allah. Modesty is not the death of personality. It is the discipline of personality. It does not remove beauty. It places beauty under the protection of purpose. It does not silence a woman. It teaches her when speech is powerful and when silence is wiser. It does not make her invisible. It makes her visible in a way that is not cheap. There is a difference between being hidden and being protected. There is a difference between being shy and being afraid. There is a difference between humility and low self-worth. There is a difference between softness and weakness. Learn these differences, because the wrong definitions can destroy your confidence. You are not weak because you choose not to argue. You are not boring because you avoid sin. You are not less beautiful because you do not display everything. You are not behind because you are waiting for what is lawful. You are not foolish because you believe in loyalty, dignity, and marriage. You are not outdated because you still care about pleasing Allah. You are not too much because you have boundaries. You are not too serious because your soul matters to you. You are not missing life. You are protecting the life Allah gave you. And my dear sister, never let the pain of people make you question the wisdom of Allah. Sometimes you will see women who compromise and appear to receive everything you wanted. You may see them getting attention, relationships, money, praise, opportunities, and confidence. Your heart may wonder, why am I trying so hard? Why am I guarding myself? Why does obedience feel lonely? But you are seeing only the surface. You do not see the emptiness after the attention fades. You do not see the anxiety after the praise stops. You do not see the fear of being replaced. You do not see the regret hidden under laughter. You do not see the private tears. You do not see the spiritual distance. And even if someone truly seems to have ease, your path is not measured by another person's test. Allah tests different people differently. Some are tested by being denied. Some are tested by being given. Some are tested by loneliness. Some are tested by popularity. Some are tested by beauty. Some are tested by marriage. Some are tested by waiting. Some are tested by being watched. Some are tested by being ignored. Your test is yours. Do not fail your test by staring at someone else's paper. Maybe Allah is building in you a dignity that cannot be rushed. Maybe He is protecting you from a love that would have made you forget Him. Maybe He is delaying something until your heart is ready to receive it without worshipping it. Maybe He is teaching you to stand alone now so that later you do not collapse inside marriage, motherhood, friendship, or society. Maybe He is making you a woman whose softness is not dependent on being treated perfectly by people, because it is rooted in being held by Allah. That is real strength. A soft woman rooted in Allah is not easy to destroy. She may cry, but she returns to prayer. She may feel lonely, but she does not sell her soul for company. She may be tempted, but she remembers the cost. She may be misunderstood, but she does not abandon herself. She may love, but she does not make love her God. She may wait, but she does not wait empty. She grows, she learns, she heals, she prepares, she becomes. My dear sister, never underestimate the power of the woman you are becoming in private. The world celebrates transformation when it becomes visible. Allah sees it while it is still hidden. He sees the night you almost replied, but you did not. He sees the outfit you changed because your heart was not comfortable. He sees the picture you deleted. He sees the desire you swallowed. He sees the tears you cried when you walked away from something you wanted but knew was wrong. He sees the prayer you made with a broken voice. He sees the way you fought your own self when no one clapped for you. Do you think that is wasted? Never. Nothing done for Allah is wasted. Every private sacrifice has a weight. Every hidden struggle has a record. Every moment you choose modesty while your desire pulls you elsewhere, Allah knows. Every time you choose dignity while loneliness whispers, Allah knows. Every time you remain soft when life gives you reasons to become cruel, Allah knows. And Allah is never unaware. So do not measure yourself only by results. Measure yourself by your direction. Are you closer to Allah than you were before? Are you more careful with your heart? Are you more honest about your weaknesses? Are you quicker to repent? Are you stronger in your boundaries? Are you softer in your character? Are you more private with your blessings? Are you more disciplined with your desires? If yes, then you are growing, even if people do not notice. A woman of modesty is not built in one dramatic moment. She is built through hundreds of small decisions. The decision to pray even when tired. The decision to dress with dignity even when tempted. The decision to not flirt back. The decision to leave the conversation. The decision to stop seeking attention from people who do not value her soul. The decision to apologize when wrong. The decision to forgive without returning to harm. The decision to remain kind without becoming available to everyone. The decision to choose Allah when nobody would know except Him. That is how a soft woman becomes unbreakable, not by shouting, not by proving, not by competing, not by exposing, not by hardening, but by returning again and again to the one who gave her honor. My dear sister, the world may teach you to ask, am I attractive enough? Am I noticed enough? Am I chosen enough? Am I desired enough? But faith teaches you deeper questions. Am I sincere? Am I protected? Am I pleasing Allah? Am I becoming a source of peace? Am I guarding what Allah entrusted to me? Am I using my beauty with gratitude or with heedlessness? Am I allowing my softness to become a path to mercy or a door to manipulation? Am I living for the gaze of creation or the pleasure of the Creator? These questions change a woman, because when your deepest need is attention, you become controlled by whoever gives it. When your deepest need is approval, you become a prisoner of people's opinions. When your deepest need is desire, you become vulnerable to anyone who knows how to flatter you. But when your deepest need is Allah, people can no longer purchase your soul with cheap words. You become calm, you become selective, you become dignified. You stop begging to be understood by those committed to misunderstanding you. You stop chasing conversations that weaken your heart. You stop dressing for eyes that do not care about your soul. You stop confusing attention with love. You stop lowering your standards to keep people who were never sent as blessings. And slowly, you become free. Not the fake freedom that says, do whatever you want, even if it destroys you. Real freedom. The freedom of a heart that is not owned by trends. The freedom of a body that is not sold to strangers' eyes. The freedom of a soul that does not need to be liked by everyone. The freedom of a woman who can say no without guilt. The freedom of a believer who knows that obedience is not a loss. My dear sister, be soft. Please be soft. The world needs women whose hearts have not become stone. Your family needs your tenderness. Your future children may need your warmth. Your community needs your mercy. Other women need your kindness. Your own soul needs your gentleness. But never compromise your modesty, because modesty is the wall around your garden. Without that wall, people will walk through what they were supposed to admire from a distance. Without that wall, anyone can enter, take, damage, and leave. Without that wall, your softness may be mistaken for permission. Your kindness may be mistaken for weakness. Your beauty may be mistaken for public property. Your silence may be mistaken for agreement. So build the wall, not a wall of arrogance, not a wall of cruelty, not a wall of fear, a wall of dignity, a wall that says, I am kind, but I am not careless. I am gentle, but I am not available to everyone. I am loving, but I am not desperate. I am beautiful, but I am not for display. I am forgiving, but I am not foolish. I am soft, but I belong to Allah. And when you live like this, you may lose some people. Let them go. You may lose some opportunities. Let them pass. You may lose some attention. Let it fade. You may lose some invitations. Let them close. Anything that requires you to disobey Allah in order to keep it is not a blessing. Anything that makes you smaller in your faith is too expensive. Anything that forces you to betray your modesty is not worth the price. Anything that costs your relationship with Allah has cost too much, even if the whole world calls it success. My dear sister, the right people will not need you to become immodest to love you. The right opportunities will not demand that you abandon your values. The right marriage will not begin with pressure to sin. The right friendships will not mock your obedience. The right path will not make you feel ashamed before Allah every night. Trust Allah enough to let go of what pulls you away from Him, and trust Him enough to believe that what He gives in return will be cleaner, safer, and more blessed, even if it comes later than you expected. There will come a day, by the permission of Allah, when you will understand why certain doors closed. You will understand why certain people left. You will understand why your heart was not allowed to settle in certain places. You will understand why the discomfort saved you. You will understand why Allah kept disturbing your peace every time you tried to normalize what was wrong. And on that day, you may whisper through tears, Allah protected me when I thought I was being denied. Until that day, keep walking. Fix what you can fix. Leave what you must leave. Guard what Allah gave you. Be gentle with your journey. Do not let guilt bury you. Do not let loneliness sell you. Do not let beauty deceive you. Do not let attention intoxicate you. Do not let heartbreak harden you. Do not let trends define you. Do not let people rename what Allah has honored. You are not just a face. You are not just a body. You are not just a profile. You are not just someone's future wife. You are not just someone's daughter. You are not just someone's sister. You are a soul created by Allah, tested by Allah, seen by Allah, and returning to Allah. So live like a woman who remembers where she came from and where she is going. Live with softness in your character and steel in your principles. Live with mercy in your words and modesty in your presence. Live with beauty in your heart and discipline in your choices. Live with love, but never love anything more than Allah. Live with hope, but never hope more from people than you hope from Allah. Live with elegance, but never trade your dignity for admiration. And when the world asks you to lower yourself to be accepted, smile gently and keep your soul high. Because the woman who is soft for the sake of Allah is not weak, she is rare. The woman who protects her modesty when the world calls her outdated is not behind, she is awake. The woman who refuses to sell her dignity for attention is not missing out, she is being protected. The woman who can love without losing herself, forgive without becoming blind, dress with dignity without feeling ashamed, speak with kindness without surrendering her limits, and walk away from what displeases Allah even while her heart aches, that woman is carrying a light this world cannot manufacture. So my dear sister, become that woman. Not perfect, not prideful, not harsh, not lifeless, but sincere, soft, modest, wise, guarded, beautiful in a way that begins in the soul before it reaches the face. And every time you feel weak, remember this: Allah did not command modesty to reduce you. He commanded it to honor you. Allah did not place boundaries to suffocate you. He placed them to protect what is precious. Allah did not ask you to be soft so people could break you. He taught you softness so your heart could remain alive, while your faith keeps you strong. Be a soft woman, but never compromise your modesty, because your softness is your beauty, your modesty is your crown, and your obedience to Allah is your true freedom.